What's going on, everybody? Shane here. It should not be a surprise to anyone who knows me that I have been a long time Sony PlayStation person. I don't know that I'd say fanboy, but at times perhaps approaching that level. I was there with the PlayStation 1. I was there for the glorious times of the PlayStation 2. I was there when the PlayStation 3 was announced and we were told that we would all get a second job to buy the PlayStation 3. I was there when the Sony hubris was in full swing, when they thought they were the kings of the world and they had to be humbled. I was there when they were humbled, when the PlayStation 4 was announced at a better price with a more gamer-centric messaging that returned them to the mountaintop, if you will, that brought them back to that first place. And I'm afraid that now I may also be here as they begin a slow tumble off of that mountaintop. You see, there's this little game called Fortnite that you may have heard of, and it recently launched on the Nintendo Switch, and upon launching, many fans were disturbed to see that they could not take their account from the PlayStation 4 version and move it over to the Switch version, like they could the mobile version, the Xbox version, the PC version. Moreover, they could not play with their PlayStation 4 friends on their other consoles. It became evident that the PlayStation 4 version of Fortnite kept its users locked out, and once you had linked your account to that version, you could not bring it to another version. And like I said before, crossplay wasn't there. The Xbox One, the Switch players could not play with the PS4 players. Now, personally, this isn't a huge issue to me in this specific instance because I'm not really a big Fortnite player. I'm more of a PUBG kind of guy. I get the appeal of Fortnite. I have lots of friends that love it. I just don't. That's fine, though. We can all have our different opinions. The problem I see here is that the outcry for crossplay was so profound, so strong, so loud, that it seemed as though there was reason to hope that Sony might actually listen to its fans, to its users. We had some hope they would bend their will to our will. Well, I hate to tell you all this, but it appears as though those hopes have been dashed against the rocks like a ship adrift in the ocean. I have a quote here to share with you from Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida. Kenichiro said, quote, "On cross-platform, our way of thinking is always that PlayStation 4 is the best place to play. Fortnite, I believe, partnered with PlayStation 4 is the best experience for users. That is our belief." Now, Kenichiro, if I can be so bold as to call you Kenichiro, that is objectively false. So, even if you remove crossplay from the conversation, you talk about just, sure, you're talking about just the game itself. Perhaps you can make this argument. But you can't make this argument in a vacuum because there are other versions that do support crossplay. And I would argue that it is patently obvious that the best experience for users is the experience where they can play with their friends the most easily. They can play the most flexibly. They can play where they want to play with their friends who are playing where they want to play. And to sit here and say that PlayStation 4 is the best experience for users playing Fortnite is a claim that cannot be substantiated with any understanding of reality. This just simply isn't true. The platform that allows Xbox One, Switch, mobile, PC all to play together, that is a superior user experience. There can be no question about this. Sony, I'm fearful for you that in this world where so many companies are pushing towards crossplay, Rocket League will be doing this sometime this year potentially, allowing Xbox One and PC players to party up. That's what they're saying. That's a big deal. This is a big deal. This is the future. This is where we're going. We're going to this more console I don't like this term, but console agnostic system where players can play the game they want to play on the platform they want to play with their friends who have also made that choice and maybe made a different choice than them, and there's no reason why this shouldn't work. You can sit, you know, it'd be one thing if they made this argument and said, well, look, Fortnite tried this, but it hasn't worked well, so we're going to opt out until it's better. But you can't make that argument because I've done this on PC with my friends on Xbox, and it works fine. It works actually quite well. There's no problems at all with this sort of thing. So Sony, what possible reason do you have here to lie like you lied there, other than greed? And I think that's a really bad look. And I'm gonna read you one more quote here, a tweet from Mike Ybarra, a Microsoft higher up, who I think put this very poignantly, and this is again a bad omen for Sony. Mike said, Sony still isn't listening to gamers. All games should be crossplay and progression with the right input flexibility and gamer options. Well said, Mike. I could not agree more. And as a Sony almost fanboy, this pains me. I hope Sony pulls their heads out of their collective asses, sees the error of their ways, gives the players what they want. Or people like Mr. Mike Ybarra here, they're in your rear view. Alright, Sony? They're still there, and they've got PC with them as well. You're in first place. But do you remember after PS2 when the PS3 didn't do so well for many years and you weren't in first place anymore? You remember that? That could happen again. Remember the mistakes that were made. Remember the right decisions that were made after that. There's a plain, obvious difference between the way of thinking early days of PS3 versus late days of PS3/PS4. And it appears that we are going back to those early days of PS3 with decisions like this. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Is this overblown? Is this a big deal? What would you have Sony do? Is Microsoft on the right page here? Let me know what you think. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.